Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is July 14th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the sun rise across Pacific Ocean as we speak. There's Hurricane Calvin out there, may become a major hurricane here over the next day, but we'll see how that goes. And this is not going to be any threat to the United States. The lower 48 may eventually bring an uptick in shower activity and some winds here to the Hawaiian Islands, but no threat as of right now. You can see the marine layer moving around on the coastline out here as well along the California coast. Not that thick right now. And we're going to be warming up. Again, the big weather story here is going to be the prolonged heat wave for much of the desert Southwest, including California here. If you want that relief, you got to get right out to the immediate coastline. You don't have to go too far inland to get some nice heat as we go through the weekend here coming up. Monsoon trying to return here. You can see some of this activity trying to bubble up. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as well, and we'll see just how much precipitation is expected as we go through July. This is Hurricane Calvin. You can see the M there would be for major. Not expecting this to be a tropical storm by the time that it reaches Hawaii. I wish they wouldn't even put it on there right now. Living out there for 4 years taught me a lot about the tropical systems out there, and this is really no threat to even be concerned about right now. So on this day in Southern Cal weather history, you can see they even have a satellite imagery here, but the flash flooding, monsoon moisture can make it out to the deserts this time of year for 78 evacuations there and around an inch in the deserts, which is quite a bit of precipitation out there. It can cause some flooding. So yeah, pretty interesting there back in 1984 on this day. Now, here we go. Las Vegas, National Weather Service. Not your typical desert heat. No significant cool down overnight. 5 straight days of extreme heat. Phoenix, this kind of highlights that. Saturday, Sunday, 118, and we'll continue just broiling hot there all the way through Wednesday. And you can see the deserts doing the same thing here. And this is for Southern California. Check out the coastline. You want to beat the heat, you got to get right out on the immediate coast. Excessive heat warning. You don't have to go that far inland to get in that area, and some heat advisory areas out there as well. Heat risk Sunday, San Diego, California, and you see the big contrast again between the desert areas like Palm Springs versus the coastline there. So yeah, there is some extreme heat values out there, especially across the deserts and the inland areas. Near record heat, July 16th. Check it out. Fresno looking to break its all-time record high set way back in the 20s in 1911 there. And Merced and Hanford may do the same. Madera has a chance to break that also. Bakersfield may fall a little bit short there of the record back in 1925. This is looking at Northern California here, so check this out. Just now starting to crank up the heat. This is the forecast high for today. Sacramento 106, but you're likely headed toward the 110s, maybe 115 degrees plus for some areas across the valley. Extremely warm, but look at the contrast between Eureka and some of the interior locations. If you want to get some relief, take a trip out there. This is looking at the Bay Area, and again, any place except the immediate coastline is going to be underneath this excessive heat warning, including the entire I-5 corridor. This is looking at the European as of last night. You can see Hurricane Calvin on the southern periphery of this big subtropical ridge, and we're getting towards record heights, and the high pressure there at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars, dominating the weather here through the extended forecast. And you can see this big ridge just not really going anywhere anytime soon. A couple troughs try to flatten this ridge down, but it's not really going to help too much. So we're probably going to remain above average here through the extended forecast. This is looking at last night's European run. Total precipitation in inches. This goes out 144 hours. Some monsoon moisture bubbling around, trying to get up in here. And on Monday, check this out. You may get a couple showers, thunderstorms across the Sierra Nevada and across Nevada. Not big precipitation makers, but it's something. Just keep that in the back of your mind if you're off in the backcountry. As we go through 144 hours, not a lot of precipitation showing up, but across some of the higher terrain, you could get some of those afternoon thunderstorms. We'll take a look at the extended forecast here coming up in a minute. This is the NAM 12cam, a little bit lower resolution model here in the North American model. It does show a little bit of potential across southern Arizona here. Not showing much across the higher terrain through Sunday. As we roll through Monday afternoon there, maybe a little bit starting to show up by Monday afternoon, and just show that shower activity across some of the Sierra Nevada and through Nevada as well. And this is just noise along the California coastline here. Just ignore that for the time being. This is the European ensemble mean. So I've gone out 384 hours here, and you can kind of see the return of some of this monsoon moisture. And a lot of this starts to show up towards the end of the run, even including Phoenix and some of that activity as well. So you can imagine why Phoenix's average high temperature for this time of year starts to drop as you get through July. You start to get more clouds around. The monsoon moisture tends to make an appearance here. So hopefully that is the case. Arizona can use the rainfall down there. And this is looking at Phoenix Sky Harbor over the next 2 weeks. You can clearly see the above average conditions expected to persist through about July 28th, shown here. Some very warm days coming up. This is Reno. Check it out. Extended temperatures up towards 100 degrees. You can see the average for this time of year about 92, 93 degrees through the end of July. This is Las Vegas. And again, similar signal here all the way through the 2-week period, well above average. Los Angeles, even close to the coastline. LAX above average. You're dealing with some mid and upper 80s possible. Go inland a little bit and look at Burbank. Expect to be up towards 100 degrees here through the 2-week period. Above average conditions persist and above average overnight lows. This is Bakersfield. Again, rinse and repeat across the region. Look at some of these overnight lows well above average for this time of year. Sacramento, no exception there. Maybe a little bit of a drop down there on Wednesday before a bounce back towards the end of the following week. This is Eureka. I like showing this one here. Look at the average temperature this time of year, about 60, 61 degrees. Not much variation here. You're right along the immediate coastline there. So yeah, you're getting a big influence there from the cool Pacific Ocean. This is San Francisco. Nice warm days coming up this weekend. Enjoy that. And you can see the average temperature this time of year, mid and upper 60s as you go towards the end of July. This is the 6 to 10 day precipitation probability outlook. They do have this little bit above average signal here still through July 23rd. I'm a little skeptical of it, but at least, somebody believes, right? This is the 8 to 14 day. And again, with that signal down there, even including some of Southeast California there as well. So we'll see how this works out. I'm not too optimistic on this signal just yet, but we'll watch it over the next few days. We have some time to work those details out. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. You can see the entire state of California included, including Nevada, Arizona, on down into New Mexico, and all the way through the end of July, likely to be above average here across the region. Now, this is something interesting here. This is July 1st through July 13th. And you can see the temperature anomaly here. A lot of the Midwest here below average, but you can see the heat across New Mexico, Texas, some of the East Coast and Northeast kind of well above average there. Pacific Northwest well above average so far here. And California not doing too bad so far, but this is definitely going to flip here over the next few days for the state of California for sure. And these temperatures are going to get inflated also over the next week or to two across much of the Southwest. This is for January 1st through July 13th, weathermodels.com. Check out that anomaly here across the West. Big yin and yang between the below average on the West Coast and the East Coast. Look at much of the East, including Texas, well above average so far in 2023. Some portions of Pacific Northwest a little bit above, but California doing not too bad. These troughs been keeping temperatures suppressed somewhat for much of the year, and that is really going to change over the next 2 weeks though. So anyway, yeah. Another thing too, I do have a shop on the store. So if you guys want to see any designs put on clothes, click on the link down below or leave comments on what kind of designs you'd like to see, or even email me here. Find the email address here on the YouTube page and send me some ideas. I really like the moisture wicking t-shirts, and I like the performance men's hoodie, for example. Might not be a good thing to wear in the summertime across the Southwest here, but the moisture wicking one is really nice. I use those for the warmer days. My son likes wearing them. I wear them all the time. And if you want to help support the channel, it's a great way to do it. So go ahead and click on the store down below the video there, down to the south of the video I'm showing you right now. So anyway, click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow. We'll check out how things are going, and I will talk to you guys then.